story written by one of my favorite all-time authors. His name is Eric Carle. He has a different way of creating his illustrations. He uses collage to create his art. He uses acrylic paint on tissue paper and makes all the pictures in his stories. He loves colors. He always says how much colors bring him joy. That's why I encourage you guys, when you create your stories or your pictures or your paintings, to use lots of colors. And I always say to use lots of details. So for more information on how Eric Carle creates his stories and the pictures in it, go to YouTube and then type in Eric Carle, and it'll take you to links of all his books, and it'll take you to links on how he created the pages. So today I have one of his books, and he is also the illustrator. Obviously, he created the pictures. So some authors are both illustrators and authors, right? Remember I said that in the past? And he does both. All right, so this book is called The Tiny Seed. And already by looking at the cover of the book, you see how much color is popping out at us. And he doesn't stop there. Look at the back of the book. He just loves pictures and colors. And if you notice the details, you can kind of notice the brush. When you look at the colors, how he mixes the paint and leaves the brush marks on there. It's really beautiful and amazing. And you can make your own paper too. You can have fun using tissue paper, paint. Maybe one day we can do it together. So ready? Let's begin with The Tiny Seed. Once upon a time, it is autumn. That's a fancy word for fall. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny. That means it's smaller than the others. Will it be able to keep up with the other seeds? And where are they going? This is the tiny seed. I wonder where they're going. One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up, up it flies, too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts, so the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on by. But the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others, but it's still flying by. Do you know what seeds need to grow? Yes, it needs a little bit of water, a little bit of soil. Soil is a fancy word for dirt. And it needs a lot of sun and air. And I like to say it also needs a lot of love, right? Let's find out what happens to the tiny seed. Now they fly over the ocean. That's water. One seed falls into the water and drowns. Oh. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high, but it's still there, right? I hope it makes it. Go, tiny seed, go, tiny seed. See, we just don't need water. They need a little bit more than just water. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It is hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but it's still pushing on with the others. So the other seed had water and it drowned. This one has a lot of sun and it's not gonna grow. because it's missing the other things, right? What were the other things? Dirt. Finally, the wind stops and the seeds fall gently down on the ground. They all land on the grass. A bird comes by and eats one of the seeds. Oh no! The tiny seed is not eaten though. See, the tiny seed is right there. See? Really tiny. It is so small that the bird doesn't see it. Yay! I'm rooting for the tiny seed. Go tiny seed, go tiny seed. Now it is winter time. That comes after autumn. Do you know what comes after winter? Yes, spring. It's called the seasons and we have 4 of them. Now it's winter and their long trip, they settle down. Finally the seeds settle down. They look just as if they're going to sleep inside the earth. Snow falls down and covers them like a soft white blanket. Oh, what is this? A mouse. A hungry mouse also lives in the ground and it eats one of the seeds for lunch. But the tiny seed is so very tiny and it lies really still and the mouse does not see it. Go tiny seed, go tiny seed. Now it's springtime. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow melted away and now it's really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, the rain falls. There it is. Everything a seed needs to grow, right? You got the sun, the rain, the dirt, and look what's happening to the seeds. Yes, they're growing. Let's find out. Now, they are not seeds anymore. They are plants. First, they send the roots down, down, down to the earth. Then, their little stems go up, up, up towards the sun and air. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It's called weeds, big fat weed. And it takes all the sunlight and all the rain away from the small new plants. And that little plant dies. Oh, the tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry, little seed. Let's cheer for the seed. Go seed, go seed. But finally, it too starts to grow into a plant. Yes. See the little tiny plant? This is the little one. The warm weather also brings children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun and the springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along and oops, oh, he breaks one of the plants. Now it cannot grow anymore. So remember, if you're running outside, do not step on the plants or the flowers because they'll break and die. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but the neighbor grew faster. Before the tiny plant had 3 little leaves, the other one grew into a flower. But what is happening? First, there are footsteps. Then a shadow looms over them. Then a hand reaches out and breaks the flower. Somebody took the flower. So now, a boy had picked the flower and gave it to his friend. And I think the tiny seed is left all alone. But guess what season it is now? It's summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone It grows on and on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it. The rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It's even taller than the people. It's even taller than the trees and taller than the house. That's a really tall flower, right? People come from near and far just to look at this flower. It's the tallest flower they've ever seen. It's a giant flower. All summer long, the birds and the bees and the butterflies come visiting the flower. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. Look how beautiful. The sun, the flower, the birds and the bees. That's a beautiful picture, right? Now, guess what time it is again? What comes after summer? Yes, autumn. That's a fancy word for fall. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind begins. It carries yellow and red leaves past the flower, and some of the petals begin to drop off, along with the leaves over the land, and they start sailing over the ground. The wind blows harder and harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways, it bends away from the wind. Once more, the wind shakes the flower, and this time, the flower's seeds pop off. And guess what happens? Out come the tiny seeds that quickly sail away with the wind. And that's what we call a cycle. The cycle of a seed. It starts, and then it ends, and then it begins again. So it's a cycle. The end. Yay! I hope you enjoyed the story. I know I did. It gives me so many ideas what to do during the springtime. Maybe I'll go and plant some seeds. Maybe you can draw a beautiful picture, or maybe you can visit the website on YouTube to find out how Eric Carle makes his beautiful pictures. See you next week. Bye.